going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're tuning into the Morning Edge right here at 1540 AM, 101.7 FM. I'm your host, Big Sarge, along with Nessa, the super producer.
Good morning.
Nessa, I'm gonna switch over to these. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good.
Huh?
Pretty good, decent weekend.
What you do?
I just worked.
Is that all you do? Here we go. Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
For the most part, yes.
Nessa, you got to do more than just work.
I mean, the bills don't stop, you know?
Huh?
The bills don't stop.
This is true. This is true. But life is more than just about working. Right?
Yeah.
Good morning. You tuned to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. It is Millennial Monday. The residential millennial, young Cody, is coming in. He's coming in from out of town, so he's running a little late this morning, but he will definitely be in here. Good morning, all you essential workers out there, everybody that's headed to work or at work. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Nessa, before I get started, though, you like my shirt, though? You see what it says?
What does it say?
It says Mila's Sugar Babies. These are all my grandbabies on the front.
Oh, really?
I got a picture of all my grandbabies on the front of my shirt. Yes, Lord. And, hey, look, and I got their nickname. So I'm going to start from here. Let me see if I can see. Okay, so from here. Wait. You see, that's Doodle. She's the oldest. Then it's Fat Man. He's the second oldest. Then it's Chunky Butt. She the third oldest. And then this is the youngest, Mr. They gonna all work for Mr. Ever told you this story?
No.
So Mr., right? So Jalecia, the second oldest, Jalecia, she's married to an Anglo-American, Luke. He's white by birth, right?
Yeah.
But I swear for goodness, if you didn't know no better, you think he's black. Oh my God. He ain't trying to fake or pretend or nothing. It's just who he is, right?
Yeah.
So the two boys belong to Jalecia and the two girls belong to Jasmine, right? So right here, this is Jalecia. This is Jalecia's oldest son, Fat Man. Mm-hmm. He has a different father than Mr. Mr. is Luke's son, biological son. They're both his sons, but this is his biological son, right? Mm-hmm. So if you could look and see, you see everybody looks black except Mr. And Mr. is half black, but Mr. looks like he's white. And I said, Mr. got a credit score 800 right now. Mr. probably woke up this morning with a cup of coffee and turned right to CNBC, where they do the stocks and all that. Oh, he's watching. He's like, these rioting, these protesting, these looting is messing up my portfolio. Although I'm down with the cause, y'all are messing up my future 401k. And I'm like, Mister, you don't even have a job. He's like, hey, listen, don't worry about how I get my money. Right? Right. So, yes. So I had the shirt on for a purpose, though. And, my wife's name was Jamila. So they called her Sugar Mama. So she was Sugar Mama's papa. Mm-hmm. So that's why we call them sugar babies. Right?
Yeah.
Got the picture on. And so I got this on today because in what we're going through in this world right now, during these trying times, I'm just trying to make it home for them. You know what I mean by that?
Not necessarily. I'm
just trying to get home safe for them. This is my world right now. Mm-hmm. All these four right here are like, I promise you, if I had $1, all of them getting 25 cents a piece, and I just be like, I'll do whatever I have to do. If I ain't got no money, I ain't got no money. I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. Right? I'll figure it out. I'll find a way. But this is my whole world right now. And with what's going on as far as, social injustices and, with police steady killing African-American males at a high rate, mm-hmm. I'm just like, just let me make it home for them. Just let me make it home so I can at least FaceTime them. Because the two boys are in Florida and the two girls are in Hawaii. And so I get a kick out of being able to see them and talk to them. And because if they lose me, I'm the last grandparent that they have representing, those kids, her daughters. Yeah, my wife's kids. I'm the only grandparent that's like, I got to represent for both of us, for me and for Mila. So if they lose me, then that's one part that's gone. because they've already lost their grandmother. They don't want to lose Paw. Plus, Paw buy them ice cream. Paw cash out and send the money for Chick-fil-A. You see what I'm saying?
So you're the awesome grandpa then.
What am I?
You're the one that spoils them.
Hey, listen, I know that they're listening right now, and they're going to see this and they're going to hear this, and their grandparents, other grandparents probably listen too. But guess what? Hey, y'all already know what the deal is. Y'all know Paw is the best because Paw is the funniest. He may not have the highest credit score out of all the grandparents. He may not have the best 401k or savings as the other grandparents, but ain't nobody finna have fun like Paw though. Paw is the fun grandparent.
That's awesome.
All right. Moving right along. In studio today at the top of the hour, we will have Jessica McDonald. She's a U of H student who attended the Black Lives Matter Houston rally for George Floyd on Friday. So she was part of the rally that we talked about here on Friday. She was part of that rally. She went down and she protested as well. And I want to get, she's a millennial as well. She's 21 years old. I want her in here so I can be able to talk with her and get her viewpoint on what happened. She was boots on ground is what we like to call it. She had boots on ground. She was there. So we're going to get her take on it. They finally arrested the cop. They finally arrested the cop who killed and murdered George Floyd. His wife is leaving him. Now he's on suicide watch. And I'm saying to myself, bro, you have got to do better. Like, you're going to have to come up with some better stuff than you think you want to kill yourself. There's no possible way you think you want to kill yourself after you didn't kill this man. We watched you kill him. So, and I'm not going to put too much more into that. They arrested him. I'm not going to do anything till I hear the charges. Until they convict him. Mm-hmm. Arresting him don't mean nothing. Convict him, and then we'll talk. And then we will talk. All right, now, so you know I like to have me a morning thought, right? Mm-hmm. You know I like to have me a morning thought. So, check this out. I'm not here to advocate for violence. You know that. I'm not here to advocate violence. I've been talking about the looting and the rioting and things like that. So I am not here to advocate violence. But I got a question. Yes. Just one. I just got one question.
What is your question?
This is to the citizens of Minneapolis, right? Mm-hmm. Who are protesting the death of George Floyd. How is the cup food still standing when they are partially to blame for Big Floyd's death? How is the store that called the police on George Floyd, let me put that way. How is the store who called the police on George Floyd for using quote unquote counterfeit money to buy cigarettes, and then he ran up out the store with the cigarettes, but nobody has ever produced the fake bill that they said that he used, and nobody talks about how he took the cigarettes back when they told him that they thought the money was counterfeit. Like, where's his counterfeit bill?
Yeah.
Right? Now, the owner of the store wasn't there. I guess it was his family members, younger family members working there. But you all called the police. You all called the police and said that George Floyd was using fake counterfeit money, and you wanted him to, forgery is what you said. How is the cup food still standing, but the Target is burned down, and the schools is burned down, and the apartment complexes, and the AutoZone, and the Planet Fitness, all these other things are destroyed, but the cup food is still, I don't get it. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't get it. I don't understand it, because I'm saying to myself, this is where it all started. If you was going to burn something down, if you was going to loot something, if you was going to ride something, I don't care that he's been in the community for 30 years. That don't got nothing to do with me. If you're going to do something, how come you went to the Target and looted there and burned all these other businesses, but the primary business that started it all, you all let make it?
I didn't know that. I would think that'd be the first place they would go to.
And so the owner has come out and said that he wants to pay for George's funeral. I promise you, and I'm not saying this. I don't have I'm not a part of George's family at all. I only know people who are. I know a couple of his cousins. I talked personally to one of his cousins last night through Facebook Messenger. So I'm not part of the family. So I'm not here telling them don't take the money. I'm not. I am not. That is not what Big Sarge or Edge Radio Network is saying. I'm not saying don't take the money. What I'm saying is if it was Big Sarge, I'd be like, you can keep your money. And the reason why you can keep your money is because you're partly to blame on why my family member is dead. You can't make it right by paying for the funeral. There's nothing you can do to make it right based off of your mistake. Now, it wasn't the business owner who put his knee on George Floyd's neck and killed him, which we saw the murder, but we're going to get to the autopsy report a little bit later on. It wasn't the store owner or its employees who put their knee on George Floyd's neck and murdered him. No, it was not. But it was the phone call. See, this is why I don't get myself involved fully in a lot of things. Because the way my mindset is made up, because of the way that I'm wired, because of the way that my mental illness is, ain't no gray area with me. Hey, look, I tell you what, if I'm gonna show up, some action gotta happen. Some action gotta happen. Because this is what I tell people. Oh, Big Sarge, you ain't down for the cause, you ain't this, that, and other. No. Because this is what's going to happen. If I show up, then we also got to go after George Zimmerman. If I show up, we also got to go, George Zimmerman who killed Trayvon Martin. We also got to go after Darren Wilson who killed Mike Brown. We also got to go after the cop who killed Eric Gardner. We also got to go after the cop who killed Breonna Taylor. We also got to go after the cop who killed Atiana Jefferson, shot her through the window. We also got to go and get the people who killed Eric Harris, Freddie Gray. I can keep going on and on if you need me to. Sandra Bland. If we gonna do something, that's how I'm wired. So it's best that I just stay away and use this platform right here to just get it out to the people. Hey, it's going to be a peaceful protest. You know, it started off as peaceful, got a little, rowdy, whatever the case may be. I don't know, but this is what's going on. Here's the protest here, here's the protest here, here's the protest here, here's the protest here. So if we're going to do it, then that's what we're going to do. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's how I am. If this is what's going to happen, then this is what's just going to have to happen. We're going to move and do this, and we're going to move and do that. We're going to have to go out. The first person we're going to have to go get is George Zimmerman. The first. If we really about that action, boss, in the immortal words of the great Negro poet Marshawn Lynch, if we really about that action, then that's what we're going to have to go do. But if not, let's just keep talking about it on social media. That's how I am. Listen, my late wife, Jamila Bearfield, God rest her soul, used to always tell me, she said, you know what it is about you? I said, what's that? I said, outside of my sexy physique, my sexy stature, my big, beautiful smile, what is it about me? She's like, the one thing I like about you, she says, you don't have no gray area. It's either all or nothing. It's either you gonna do it 100% or you ain't gonna do it at all. Ain't no middle ground. Ain't finna be no 50%. None of that. And that's just how I am. That's how I'm wired, Nessa. Either we gonna do it or we not gonna do it. So back to my original question, right? Back to my original question before we get ready to go to the break. Why is the cup food still standing?
I have no.
Does it make sense though?
It doesn't, no.
It doesn't make sense that the people who called the police, the business that called the police on George Floyd is still there. And it's like, we got to help the community heal and we got to do this, that, and the other. Yeah. Keep saying those words so your business won't be burned down. You tune to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. Hey, when we come back from the break, Nessa,
Yes.
you know they released the autopsy report, right?
No, I did not.
They released the autopsy report for the George Floyd murder. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what it sounds exactly like. You tune to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. We'll be back.
That'll push you over the top. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM. Edge Radio.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Hi, I'm Ben Affleck. The only thing better than playing a hero in the movies is being a hero in real life. Like the 50,000 veterans who returned from Iraq and Afghanistan with devastating injuries. They are true heroes, and they're why I'm proud to support Paralyzed Veterans of America. For more than 60 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has made a promise to never leave a fallen comrade behind. They make sure veterans with spinal cord injuries get the quality medical care, rehabilitation, and housing they need when they come home. They stay with our fallen heroes for the long term, offering counseling, job training, and support to help them regain the freedom and independence they fought so hard for, all at no cost to them. Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them. To learn more about how you can help, visit pva.org. That's pva.org. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
This is Dr. Gabriel Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic, and today I'd like to inform you that doctors of chiropractic are primary contact healthcare providers who provide essential care, including but not limited to managing acute and urgent musculoskeletal condition. These services are critical for managing cases that otherwise could end up in the emergency rooms, worsening an already difficult situation. It is important to note that chiropractic services also keep...
Hey, welcome back. You're tuned to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. I'm your host, Big Sarge, along with the super producer, Nessa.
Good morning.
And look who made their way into the building this morning, young Cody.
Yo, young Cody.
Hey,
What's up?
young Cody, you went to Louisiana this weekend.
Yes, I did. New Orleans.
Feel like, wait a minute. What are you doing in studio? Shit, I thought you got a self-quarantine for 14 days. Stay right there. Nessa, we're going to need to spray young Cody down. Tell them why you went, though, Cody.
I went over there to show people how to... I filmed a video to show people how they should go back to quarantine. Pretty much filmed for a nursery. And they were showing people how they should drop off their kids. They shouldn't be touching the teachers. They shouldn't be going inside of the building to contaminate more teachers if somebody is, whatever. But because eventually we have to get back to a normal or some sense of normal. So she just asked me to come down, film it, and it was pretty nice.
Was your papa's birthday this weekend too?
Yes, it was. It was. He turned 83.
Yeah, so I seen they did a Zoom call for him.
Yeah, it was fun.
He's like, what is this Zoom that we're doing right here,
Yeah,
Cody?
It was fun. Shout out Papa Newman Johnson. That's my middle name, Newman.
He called you, wait, Newman. Ain't that the
Newman.
character from Seinfeld? Right?
I don't watch Seinfeld, so I wouldn't.
Hey, side note, do you know what Jerry Seinfeld's first name is? His real first name?
Jerry?
Jerome.
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's not.
Google it.
I don't believe
You hey, look, hold on. You want to bet 15 push-ups on it?
Nope.
You're like, I learned my lesson from the last show we was on about betting some type of physical activity.
I'm good.
All right, young Cody. Before I went to the break, man, I want to get you in on this too. Before we break, we got Jessica McDonald. She's in studio. She will be with us at the top of the hour. She was involved in the Black Lives Matter rally down in Houston this past weekend. She was right in the midst of it marching. And once I bring on air and once I put it on video, people gonna be like, for real? Right?
Yeah.
People gonna be like, wait a minute, for real? It's like, yeah, OG, triple OG, OG.
Yeah.
But young Cody, before I went to the break, I said my morning thought was, I'm not here to advocate violence. I'm not here to advocate any type of violence. I'm not here to advocate any type of businesses being looted and burned down. But what I can't understand, young Cody, is how did the citizens who are protesting George Floyd's murder, how did they go and burn down a riot, a loot, a Target, a Planet Fitness, an AutoZone, a school, apartment building, all that, but they left cup food. The people who called the police on George Floyd, they left that business up and running. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I see. Here's the thing about this whole situation. I feel like that we should have been a little bit more organized in our, push, because I think it was something that was said like somebody burned the AutoZone, like somebody not a part of the rally burned the AutoZone or destroyed the AutoZone.
Mm-hmm.
And some people were like, why is that person doing that? They're gonna think that we did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess that led to other people like, oh, so we burned down stuff, now let's go get the Target.
Yeah.
Let's go get the houses. Let's go get the cop cars. Let's go get these. Like, I seen some of these cop cars and they had like rails thrown through them, this thrown through it. Like, I feel like we should have been a little bit more organized. If we were going to do something like that, we should have been organized with the attack. Had a symbol for something like the cut foods.
Yes.
Right? Like, don't just go burn down a Target. What does that even mean? Like, you're confusing the message. You're just saying that we're angry. Like, it's all about communication.
Now, you know what, young Cody? I'm going to say this, right? Before we move on. I'm going to say this. So, and once we bring Jessica on, I will talk a little bit more about it. But I said the same thing. I was like, this is what I couldn't understand. I was like, why are we punishing, like, the city of Houston and the HPD? Why are we punishing them for something that the Minneapolis Police Department did? I said to myself, why are they rioting and looting in the city of Houston when the city of Houston didn't kill George Floyd? Minneapolis did.
That's true.
So that's a great point. That's a great way to look at it, right?
Right, yeah.
But then as time went on, because I asked the question for clarity, I told him, I'm really asking. Somebody needs to explain it to me. And I used the analogy of if you got multiple kids in the house, you done told them all, don't play in the house. Mm-hmm. One of them breaks a window. You don't go and whoop all of them. You whoop the one who broke the window because that's the one you told, more than likely, I said he, because boys are bad. You don't go and whoop everybody. You just whoop him. I also used the analogy of in a marriage, you don't wait 3 years later to talk about something that made you mad 3 years prior. Because the spouse is going to look at you like, hold on, time out. Yes, this is advice for you, 30-day fiance. Right?
Yeah.
Shout out to 90-day fiance. It was good last night. I may have to get to that tomorrow, though, because we got a power pack show. Yes, listen, 30-day fiance, because I'm giving you some marital advice right now, okay?
Here we go.
Here go the marriage counseling, right? You don't bring up something 3 years later that made you mad 3 years prior, because your spouse is going to look at you like, well, how come we didn't talk about that then? Like, why am I being punished now 3 years later when we could have talked about it and dealt with it then? So you've been harboring this anger for 3 years. You're laughing because this is something you've done?
No.
I'm just trying to find out, Nessa. I'm just trying to find out if you're doing this. Don't do it, Nessa. Handle the problems right there it'll make your life a whole lot smoother. Or if you're going to be mad about it 3 years later and you still thinking about it, don't tell him. You know what you do? Either put it in a journal or put it on social media. You can do it on social media. Just don't use names. Say, I got a friend. All right? Just say, I got a friend. But, so I use that, right, young Coney? I use that analogy of you don't do that. So I asked the people, and I got some great responses on People are tired. People are fed up. I was like, and I understand that, but you don't do that to Houston. You don't do that to Chicago. Or you don't burn down Atlanta. Or you don't do that in Charlotte. Or you don't do that in LA. Or you don't do that in the UK. Or you don't do that in Germany. Like, why is every police department being punished for something that the Minneapolis Police Department did, right?
Okay, let me play devil's advocate. Well, it's not even devil's advocate. It's just the other side of it. I think some people are saying, yeah, what you're saying, like, why punish the Minneapolis? I mean, why punish all the police departments when the Minneapolis Police Department did wrong? But in some other people's minds, they're like, well, this happened all over the country. We know that this one started the protest, but there's been multiple cases all over the country, and we're fed up with all of the police. We're fed up with the police behavior. We're not just fed up with the Minneapolis police. We're fed up with all of the police that have beaten or wrongly accused. And the thing that people aren't understanding is we shot this on film. What happens when we bring these people back to the station? Mm-hmm. Like, what happens at the station? Because if this is happening in the streets where there's cameras and everything, what's happening behind closed doors?
So, I'm glad you said that. And that was great. Because as time went on, and as I started to look more and more into it, as I started to do more and more research, because what, Nessa? I'm a nerd,
yes,
right?
Yes, you are. And
I don't mean like the Pharrell type either. I'm talking about real nerd. By the way, side note, I think Pharrell is a vampire because he never ages. But I'm a nerd, so I started doing some research, Cody. So I started doing some research on police brutality and unarmed civilians being killed by law enforcement officials in Atlanta. And then I started doing some research about Charlotte, then Chicago, New York, LA, Oklahoma. And it brought me right back to my home city, my home state of Texas, but my city that I love, the H. I got a tattoo of Texas on my shoulder. And the only city I have is Houston. In the whole state of Texas, it's just Houston. Because I love Houston. I love the H. I promise you. Listen, when people used to ask me where I'm from, I was like, first of all, I'm from the United States of Texas. That's the first thing. H-Town, baby. That's what I used to tell them. H-Town, Screwston, Touston, whatever you want to call it. I'm from Houston. I love it. It brought me right back to Houston. And I started looking into some cases. And I started to look into some cases. And then I started to look into some other cases. And I'm just going to bring one up, for example. Remember the couple that was killed? The last name was Tuttle?
Yes.
That was killed because the officer said that they had, what is it, black tar heroin or something like that? Yeah, the same cop that they got to go back and throw out like 100 of his cases now because a lot of people were set up by this cop. Mm-hmm. The Tuttles lost their life. And I'm saying to myself, oh, you got people out there that's rioting and protesting for that. You got people out there rioting and protesting for, side note, a lot of old school Houston people will remember this name, this officer's name, Red. I don't even know his real name. All I know is his name was Red. Now, what Red used to do is he'd come and harass everybody on the southwest side, including my friends. And I'm not going to lie, my friends were breaking the law. They were selling dope, right? But what Red would do would come over and rough them up, take the dope and take their money. Wouldn't take them to jail. Go to the north side of Houston, put the drugs out on the street and make them selling for them. One of the most corrupt cops I have ever seen in my life, who wore the badge and told us, I wish one of you little black mother blams would get out of line. I'll choke the out of you right now. And I got the badge to do it. Red one time put my friend, who wasn't doing nothing now, just walking on the side. Red pulled over, pulled him up, left the car running, put his face on the hood of a running vehicle. This was 1988. It's 2020 right now, young Cody. So all I'm going to say is for those people who responded to me and was saying, Big Sarge, this is why. And I was like, I don't see it that way. This is why. I did my homework. I did my research. I understand now. You're tuned to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. When we come back, I'm going to bring in the OG, triple OG.
Hey.
Jessica McDonald's in studio with us. We'll be back.
They've coughed or sneezed or been outside.
Been feeling a little edgy lately? Listen to Edge Radio. That'll push you over the top. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM.
This is Dr. Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic to remind you that the knees take a lot of stress in everyday effort. And there are a few simple things that you can do to protect. Avoid walking in unstable ground, wear proper shoes, lose weight, use ice instead of heat, and avoid daily activities which exacerbate the pain such as jogging or climbing stairs. Low or no impact exercises such as swimming and bicycle riding are good for these weight-bearing joints. Physical therapy modalities such as ultrasound and interferential muscle stimulation can also help in the restoration of normal joint function. But most important is the joint manipulation performed by a doctor of chiropractic, which restores the normal joint motion that no other medication, rehabilitation, or therapy can achieve. Regular chiropractic care can restore normal joint function and can also prevent injuries. For the health of it, visit us at 1302 North Shepherd. For an appointment, call us at 713-868-6166.
Contact us at 713-868-6166. Or for more information, visit our website at HoustonChiroClinic.com. 713-868-6166.
This is Dr. Raul Rodriguez.
And this is your girl Sierra. We want to invite you to join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for our new show, Rodriguez Rejuvenation.
I am a board-certified cosmetic surgeon, and each week we will discuss new breakthroughs in medical technology, erectile dysfunction, vaginal rejuvenation, natural breast augmentation with your own fat.
So you're saying that you can take the fat from my belly and increase my breast size?
Exactly, or your buttocks instead. Learn more at RodriguezRejuvenation.com.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on Edge Radio, where the truth still matters.
Hi, I'm Ben Affleck. The only thing better than playing a hero in the movies is being a hero in real life. Like the 50,000 veterans who returned from Iraq and Afghanistan with devastating injuries. They are true heroes, and they're why I'm proud to support Paralyzed Veterans of America. For more than 60 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has made a promise to never leave a fallen comrade behind. They make sure veterans with spinal cord injuries get the quality medical care, rehabilitation, and housing they need when they come home. They stay with our fallen heroes for the long term, offering counseling, job training, and support to help them regain the freedom and independence they fought so hard for, all at no cost to them. Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them. To learn more about how you can help, visit pva.org. That's pva.org. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
This is Dr. Gabriel Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic, and today I'd like to inform you that doctors of chiropractic are primary.
Hey! Welcome back. You're tuned to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. I'm your host, Big Sarge, along with the super producer, Eric. Nessa.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there we go. I got it. And we, oh, look at that. Hey! We got the young millennial up in here because it is Millennial Monday. We got young Cody in here. Why would you do that?
Why not?
Why would you do, young Cody? That doesn't even sound. You said woo woo.
Listen, I'm trying new things. You gotta try new things in life. Young Cody, yeah.
Young Cody, you know what you sound like? You ever heard the song by Jeffrey Osborne? Can you woo woo woo? Can you woo woo woo?
Yeah, I won't do that no more.
Once again, it's Millennial Mondays right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. 281-587-1540 is the number to call in if you want to jump in. Once again, that's 281-587-1540. All right, I got a guest in studio, another millennial. I like to call her OG, triple OG. And the reason why is because this young lady at 21 years old, she's 21, but she thinks like she's 42. She is one of those ones who you ever heard that old saying like you can't just pee on me and tell me it's raining? You can't do that because she's gonna turn around and be like, no, that's not rain, that's urine. She ain't one of them ones that you just finna tell, hey, this is how it is. She gonna be like, hold on. You know what you millennials do? Google.
Yep.
I got 3 sources that says it's different. So I got Jessica McDonald. She is a U of H student. And Jessica, you were part of the Black Lives Matter rally in Houston on Friday, protesting the killing and murder of George Floyd, correct?
I was. That was fun.
How? And I'm going to ask you this, as a Anglo-American and Hispanic American. See, I had to add that. I want to make sure that I got the Hispanic part in there as well because I know you are 11%. We don't. I'm just messing. Listen. That's an inside joke. But as a Anglo-American and Hispanic American, you were down there protesting with the Black Lives Matter movement because you also feel that it's a lot of social injustices going on, correct?
Yeah.
So how was that though? How was the rally?
I think the rally itself was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I left a little bit earlier once things started going crazy, but there was a lot of people there. It was a really, really good turnout, I feel like. And also, I need to stop saying but we have, Chief Art Acevedo.
Mm-hmm.
He came up, during the speaking of everyone speaking or during the speaking part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and did say that he was, for it and that, he would be marching with us and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
how were you received by the other people that was protesting? And I don't mean just by. Let me rephrase the question, because you do have some African Americans who don't believe that people outside of our race should be protesting, and I say that's probably one of the not smartest things to say ever. But the one thing I can say about the state of Texas and the city of Houston is we got it's a lot of Southern hospitality here. So how was the reception for you? Because you weren't by yourself either.
So I actually met up with a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and we were both there. I feel like we were received because a lot of people were there's a lot of different kinds of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of Hispanics. There was a lot of Mexican flags out there. There was a lot of people, who are African American who are out there. There's a lot of people who were different races, different skin tones,
Ethnicity.
Ethnicity-wise.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Ethnicity-wise, but then also there was LGBT people out there, which is really cool to see because you had visibly trans people who are not visibly trans, people who outed themselves just to say that they're,
Mm-hmm. So everybody was down there.
Exactly.
It was a melting pot of people who wanted to just talk about. Who want to show their support for social injustices, not just for the senseless murder of George Floyd, but the senseless murder of all unarmed civilians who are killed by the hands of law enforcement officials. Now, I want to bring you into this too, young Cody. Let me ask you this question, young Cody. As a residential millennial, right?
Yeah.
As a residential millennial, how are you all dealing with what's going on right now? Because last time we talked on Wednesday, we didn't have all this outbreak and outrage on what we have right now. It was only small, and it was centralized to the city of Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's everywhere, including overseas.
Yeah, which is honestly, I feel like this should have happened a long time ago, way long ago. I think Kobe Bryant's wife posted a picture of him wearing an "I Can't Breathe" shirt. So that means this happened way before any of this was even supposed to be stuff. Like, I feel like the problem that or the problem that I see is that we're gonna go out here, we're gonna protest, and then maybe a couple of months we're gonna stop. We need to be very consistent with our messaging and very consistent with the way we approach it. So we don't need to go out, protest for a week and be like, okay, we did enough. We'll chill back and, politicians, you do your work, set in the rule. No. It has to be every single day. So that means sometimes you have to be out here in the rain. Women, your hair, it might get wet. Sometimes you might miss out on these basketball and football games. You've been doing without it this whole time, but you got to be out there. Like, if there's a protest going on, you're going to either have to be out there, you're going to have to be supporting it. There's some things that you have to sacrifice in order to get what you want. So I think that if we do that, then some change will happen. You can't just say, let's make a change and then, over time you just, kind of settle down with it.
What about you, OG, triple OG?
So part of the thing is that, we spend our whole lives growing up with education, pretty much praising Martin Luther King Jr. for his actions. So this might be a little bit controversial, but I feel like it's a way in which that
You could be controversial right here on the Morning Edge, as long as you don't cuss.
I'm watching myself real hard.
Right, Nessa?
Yes.
You got the bleep button ready.
Yeah, Nessa's like, this is my job. But yes, go ahead.
Yes. But in a way, it's so systemic. It's in our education. It's in, we grow up with DARE, where we have police officers coming into the building, we're 5th graders, they're telling us about drugs, all this kind of stuff. They're they want to scare us. And then as you get older, you learn about the civil rights movement, and they're so focused on MLK. But then during the Voting Rights Act, they are done, right? They're just oh, and then MLK died. But there's a whole 4-year period where MLK was still organizing marches, still fighting this systemic racism within America that they don't even talk about. And honestly, they wouldn't even push MLK without Malcolm X.
Right.
It's just because MLK was my elder, and he did make an impact, but he wouldn't have made as big of an impact without, the Black Power movement coming in and the Black Panther movement gaining popularity without the fact that there was a lesser extent to that. And so they were willing to cave more to the lesser extent than the more revolutionary extent.
Y'all wonder why I call her OG, triple OG, OG. I told you. What I tell you, young Cody?
That's right. I mean, that's right. You gotta have two sides of the spectrum. You see one side and you're like, oh, these are very radical people, and you're like, you know what? We'll talk to MLK, and then MLK can let that message reign throughout the whole entire community. I agree with that. That's perfect.
And that's why I told you all that some days I'm Martin, some days I'm Malcolm. Just depends on which day you catch me on, and if the Dallas Cowboys have lost, I'm definitely Malcolm. Yeah, him. So Malcolm was the rebellious one, right?
Yes.
Malcolm was the rebellious one.
Yes.
I got it. Yeah. So some days I'm standing in the window. Oh, side note, young Cody, I got to do this before we go to break. Hey, all you toy soldiers out there. And what I mean by toy soldiers is this. Hey, all you people who could have joined the military, you didn't have anything wrong with you. You could have joined the military, but you did not. And now you want to flaunt all your camo and all your bulletproof vest and, your AR-15s and your M4s. And I got my side piece right here. I'm ready for war. Really? Because I ain't see you down at the recruiting station. And before you come for Big Sarge, let me tell you this. I joined the military at 37. That's a 3 and a 7. I was a whole grown man, and I still took the oath of enlistment just like this. So I laugh and I giggle and I chuckle on the inside, not just myself, a lot of other, prior military veterans, active duty. We be like, oh, that's cute. You done went out to a gun show and got you an AR-15, and now I'm ready for war. Now, I'm not going to be that race and just scream out, I'm ready for war, because some of you others, black people, be out there, yeah, I wish you would. I wish they would run up on me. I got this AR right here. I wish they would run up on me. You ain't saying that and raising your hand to go to the army, to go to war, where they gonna run up on you. We gonna see what that life be like. Tune to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. We come back. I gotta get to this autopsy report. I got young Cody. I got the OG, triple OG, Jessica McDonald in studio with me. We'll be back.
OG, triple OG.
Yes, she's OG, triple OG,
pushed over the edge.
OG.
Edge Radio, coming soon to 1540 AM and 101.7 FM Houston, Pasadena, Clear Lake, Galveston.
Advertising doesn't cost you money, it makes you money.
Well, give us a call. 281-744-0446. 281-744-0446.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and whatever, just don't text and drive. Visit Stop Texts.
Hey, welcome back. You tuned to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. I'm Big Sarge, along with the super producer, Eric. Nessa. And I also got the residential millennial in here,
Young Cody.
And I got the OG, triple OG. You gonna tell him your name?
Jessica.
Jessica is in studio with us today because it is Millennial Monday. 281-587-1540 is the number to call in. Once again, that's 281-587-1540 is the number to call in. Okay, I got to do this. So, the autopsy report from the George Floyd. Why do I always have problems with that when that's Mila's maiden name and that's them kids' last name? Well, not Jalecia, hers is, I ain't gonna say her name, but George Floyd. The autopsy for the murder of George Floyd came back from the coroner. I'm just gonna read this just 1 second. Hold on. It says, this is according to the coroner's office. The autopsy revealed no physical findings that support a diagnosis of traumatic asphyxia or strangulation. Mr. Floyd had underlying health conditions including coronary artery disease and hypertensive heart disease. The combined effects of Mr. Floyd being restrained by the police, his underlying health condition, and any potential intoxicants in his system likely contributed to his death. Mr. Floyd had underlying health conditions. Mr. Floyd had underlying health conditions. So I said to myself, I'm reading this, and I closed my eyes, and I took myself back to a time where the autopsy report came out for Eric Garner. And it said his asthma, underlying medical condition, the asthma that he had, and the amount, his obesity contributed to his death. Really? Because I thought it was the cop choking him that killed him. That's what I thought. I didn't know. I mean, he had his asthma pump. If he was having an asthma attack, why did they just grab his pump and give it to him? If that's what you're saying caused him to die. George Floyd, what does his medical conditions have to do with the police officer putting his knee on his neck, cutting off his artery, which is cutting off the blood flow and the oxygen to his brain? What does that got to do with him having diabetes? He wasn't going into a sugar diabetes coma. This is what I always ask, right? This is what I always ask when it came to Eric Garner. Would he have still died if he wasn't put in a chokehold? Like, if he wasn't put in the illegal chokehold, would he have died? Now, I got to fast forward to 2020 and ask myself again and ask this question and bring it up. Hey, would George Floyd have died if he didn't have a knee to his neck while the police officer is sitting there with his hand in his pocket saying, what y'all looking at? I do this every day. It just so happened y'all got the camera on me. So I ain't gonna say what I usually say. I'm just gonna keep it mild and mental. I'm just not gonna say nothing. Just look at y'all. Did y'all see the autopsy report?
Yeah, it kind of. The thing is, I don't need an autopsy report. It's like it does a disservice to George Floyd because it's almost like saying if he was just walking down the street like a normal person, he would have died anyway, and that's not what would have happened. Mm-hmm. He wasn't just gonna walk down the street and just be like, "Oh well, we found this guy on the side of the road, his artery." But I didn't need an autopsy report. I didn't really care what the autopsy said.
I mean, the autopsy report was gonna say whatever benefited them the most because obviously they're covering up for these people.
Yes.
Who did this? 4 whole men could have stopped this.
Yes.
4 men. And one of them was sitting there watching it happen and looking at this man's dying face.
You talking about the Asian American officer who also, did you know that he was sued for excessive force back in either 2017 or 2018?
I'm not surprised.
I am not either. Because, and if you look at the overall video, you can also see him when they're beating George in the back of the police vehicle. He's just standing there with his hand in his pocket like.
Right. And then also he was there to let people know that if they tried to save this man's life.
Yes.
They're not gonna, that he was gonna be there to take them into custody too. And who knows what's gonna happen to you.
And you know what's so funny? Remember earlier I was talking about how Cup Food, the convenience store, started all this?
Yep.
You know who was out there? Well, you know who was out there who called the police on the police and tried to actually stop what was going on? The person who started it all. The person who called the police was out there because he called the owner of the store, his relative, and he told him, hey, call the police on the police. I guess that's what you call policing the police, right?
Right. Yeah.
So getting back to this autopsy report, though, it's because now the family, who's being represented by Attorney Crump, has come out and said they're going to do their own autopsy and they're going to get their own medical examiners to look at the body. And I'm glad that I'm glad that they are, and I'm glad that they will, because I want to say, and OG, Triple OG, you know what I'm about to say. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching this thing on the ID channel. Was it the ID channel or was it on Netflix? It was one of them, where they had this medical examiner who his field of forensics, I guess is what it's called, was the mouth, right?
Oh, an odontologist?
Yes, right? And he would go in and say he could match the bite marks of a suspect to the victim and then prosecute him. Like they would prosecute him like that. And he rose up to the ranks only to find out that so many of his cases that he did was what? Wrong.
I was like, how?
So many of his cases, they had somebody who came back who actually, look, it's so funny because this guy looked up to another guy, and it was the guy that he looked up to that debunked all his cases.
He deserved it.
It lost all his practice. So that's what I'm saying about a lot of these, a lot of these medical examiners and a lot of these coroners. Because if I'm not mistaken, a couple of years back, maybe have been like 7 to 10 years ago, I don't know, but there was a medical examiner up on the East Coast who got in trouble because they went back and they started going through her cases. And they was like, wait a minute, hold on. This is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And then she had to come out and say, well, I tampered with some evidence in order for the prosecution to be able to close their case. I tampered with a little bit of this, or this may have been defiled. So all I'm saying is, just like you all say, in order to fit the case to help the police, right? To help the police, I don't think that this medical examiner is doing. Let me say it like this. Let me put it like this, and maybe y'all can agree with me or disagree, however you want to do it. Let me put it like this. When I start seeing about the underlying medical conditions that they say attributed to Eric Garner's dying and attributed to George Floyd dying, according to this medical report, hey, they had underlying, medical condition. That's the equivalent to somebody saying, or that's the equivalent to when people come on and they say, well, he had a criminal record. He was a criminal. Back in 2006, he was arrested for selling marijuana. Back in 2009, he was arrested for shoplifting. Back in 2012, he was pulled over for a speeding ticket and didn't go to court, and then he had a warrant, and then he went to jail. I'm saying to myself, what they got to do with 2020 though? What did his past criminal history have to do with this officer putting his knee on his neck?
Yeah, he didn't deserve it just because of his history.
He's paid his time. He went to jail.
Right.
Honestly.
Yes.
On his record, he was convicted. He went to jail. He paid his time. It's done.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. So that's the same thing I look at it with this underlying medical condition. Hey, we're about to get ready to go to the break, right? But when we come back, I want to jump into something, right? I'm going to jump into something called Friend or Foe. Y'all ever heard Friend or Foe by A-Ball and MJG?
Yep.
Nessa?
No.
You've never heard Friend or Foe, have you?
No.
At all?
No.
Period. What about you, Triple OG, OG?
I have to hear it. There's a lot of songs that I know from like movies and stuff. And so
You wouldn't have heard this on no movie though. Right, young Cody?
No.
And listen, I'm not calling you all out because,
Yeah, you are.
well, hold on, time out. I'm definitely calling you out, Nessa. I'm definitely calling you out. But I'm not calling out the OG, Triple OG, OG. But we're going to talk about Friend or Foe. Let me give you all a couple of statistics before we go to the break. You ready to hear something, young Cody?
Yes.
You ready to hear something, Nessa, super producer? OG, you ready to hear something?
Sure. Go ahead.
In 2019, the whole 2019, young Cody, there was only 27 days where the police did not kill somebody. Less than a month of the entire year of 2019, 27 days, went by where the police didn't kill somebody. Now, I ain't good at math, but OG, triple OG, I know you are. So it's 365 days in a year. So that means 365 minus 27 is what? Hold on. Let me do this math right quick. So 365 minus 27, young Cody. So,
right?
Yeah, 338.
Look at that math.
Boy, listen, I don't know what that. I always, I didn't think TSU was teaching y'all nothing, but I guess they are. So that means 338 days out of 2019, somebody was dying at the hand of police officers. Citizens who pay their salaries was dying. Hey, we're about to go to the break. When we come back, we'll do friend or foe, and I got some more statistics that are going to shock you and surprise you. You're tuned to the Morning Edge right here with Big Sarge, Young Cody, OG, Triple OG, Jessica McDonald, super producer, Nessa. We'll be back.
Tell you, even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down. I'm around through every mood. You're my downfall. You're my muse, my worst distraction.
Hey, welcome back. You're tuned to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM, 101.7 FM. I'm your host, Big Sarge. I got Young Cody. I got Jessica McDonald in studio. Got the super producer over there, Nessa.
Yes, sir.
Nessa, we're going to have to discuss on how I'm going to... Wait, hold on. Do you have cable at home?
No, I don't watch TV. Very rarely, unless it's on YouTube, like 90 Day Fiance,
I don't have cable, but I have a Fire Stick. And I'm just going to say that so I won't incriminate myself. I have a Fire Stick that allows me to watch other things. How about that? Okay. Deductive reasoning will let you know at the bottom of it. Because I ain't always been a Christian and I ain't always been saved. God's still working on me. I call myself the saved hypocrite. But, so... Now, so I'm going to find a way, because I think it's on Hulu. I may have to let you borrow a password in order to see what's going on on the 90 Day Fiance. Before the 90 days, it was good.
Was it?
What? Was it good? And guess what? Next week is the tell-all show. They getting down and dirty.
That's crazy.
I'll give the recap on tomorrow. I need to do it because Young Cody, he gonna throw me off because he ain't seen it yet.
So after the 90 days, do they go into the 90 days after the show? Like, how that work?
If it works out.
Because I watch Big Ed. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
I call him Thumb.
Big Little Ed.
I call him Thumbtack or Thumbnail. He like a thumb.
I just want to point out, me and Big Ed are the same height, so if you want to see how short
See, you see why you tune in? You see why you tune into Millennial Mondays, right? You never know, these millennials, they just, whoo. Young Cody.
Yo.
I got to do this before we move on. So listen, for those of y'all who don't know, who are listening, Young Cody and I, we have a history. And what I mean by history is I was at another station doing a sports show. And Young Cody came in as an intern, and we've been friends. You know, even though he's young enough to be my son, he's still my friend. I call him my friend. I don't call him my son. I don't son him. I don't, just because of his age, I still talk to him as if I was talking to anybody else. So I have a lot of respect for Young Cody. So we have a history together, right? Now, There's a lot of people who are listening to me right now on Edge Radio Network on 1540 AM 101.7 FM, Houston, Galveston, Pasadena, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of people who are following us on Facebook who is watching us right now that's come from that old Sports Talk with Big Sarge show, right? So Amy Taylor sent me a text during the break, young Cody. And she wants to know, have you learned the Negro National Anthem? Lift every voice and sing. Nessa, you don't know the Negro National Anthem either?
I didn't know there was one.
I'm steady painting on this canvas, right?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day, right?
Every day.
There is a Negro National Anthem. Now, the reason why young Cody is being picked on, which is ironic that he has on this shirt today. He has on a shirt that says Texas Southern University, right? Mm-hmm. Texas Southern University is a historically black college or university, right? Yes. So young Cody should know the Negro National Anthem. Young Cody, you still don't know it?
I know some.
No, you need to know more than just lift every voice and sing.
By heaven,
till earth and heaven.
I know it, but you know, I'm just saying this. I don't know a lot of songs. I hum a lot of songs.
You hum a lot of songs?
I hum a lot of songs.
Well, hold on.
I sing a lot of songs.
Let's go ahead and rewind back to 2 weeks ago. Super producer Nessa.
Yes.
When we were doing the versus battle, was or was not Cody singing all the lyrics to Chris Brown and Rihanna?
That's because I did research.
Yes, you were.
Right? The lyrics.
So
I was reading the lyrics.
It's been over a year. You haven't done the research for the Negro National Anthem?
Voice and sing.
Your grandparents.
Earth and heaven ring. Sing with the harmony of
liberty.
That's all I know. That's a good 15 seconds right there.
So what do you do when you're singing it at the school? And every night, that's what you do?
With the Star Spangled Banner, I don't think I know all the words. I
didn't ask you about the Star Spangled Banner, young Cody.
The words to songs like that.
I won't even ask you, OG, triple OG, if you know the words to it. But, and the only reason I won't ask you, because I don't want to be shocked and you be like, oh, I know all of the words. I don't want to upstage. All right across the street from Texas Southern. I don't want you to show up young Cody.
Let's just move on to that.
Because you know, look, because you know me, because I'll be like, yeah, OG, you know the Negro National Anthem? You'd be like, yeah, it'd be the equivalent to, what, you played the snare drums in high school?
I didn't even know that.
All right, once again, you tune into the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. Listen, I want to get back into some more statistics, right? Because I said that according to mappingpoliceviolence.org, in 2019, only 27 days went by that police did not kill someone, right? And we figured out that it was 338 days that they did. Did you also know that 99% of killings by police officers from 2013 to 2019 have not resulted in officers being charged with the crime?
You said 99%?
99% of killings by police from 2013 to 2019 have not resulted in officers being charged with the crime.
So is that like, if I'm doing the math, let's just do this quick. 99% out of 338?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it's 338. That's not counting if they kill more people on one day, right? So that would be around only 4 people, maybe 4 people, 3 to 4 people that got arrested for killing.
Wow.
Yes. Which is nobody, pretty much.
Exactly. Young Cody, I didn't know you was that good at math, boy. I'm only good at counting money. That's the only thing I'm good for, counting money. Be like, let me look at my bank account. I know credits and debits.
It's a skill. It's a gift.
Now, also, another thing. 1,999 people were killed in 2019 by the police. And from 2013 to 2019, and these stats are coming from mappingpoliceviolence.org, 7,666 people were killed by the police. 7,000 666 people from 2013 to 2019. What a 666 mark of the beast. So look, moving right along, right? So
Satan.
right? So there's a rap group. They're out of Memphis, but they got like they're out of Memphis, but they became a huge success when they were here in Houston with Suave House Records. Called their names are 8Ball and MJG. 8Ball and MJG had a song called "Friend or Foe," right? And the lyrics was the lyrics in the chorus was this: "Friend or foe, you just will never know. Who can you trust in a world that's oh so cold?" Let me read that one more time. Friend or foe, these are the lyrics by 8Ball and MJG song "Friend or Foe." Friend or foe, you just will never know. Who can you trust in a world that's oh so cold? And the reason why I say that is because, listen. And I know it ain't Tell It Like a TIE is Friday. I know it ain't Petty Thursday, and I know it ain't Word on the Street Wednesday. I can only say this the best way Big Sarge know how to say this. Dear white people, those of you all who are out here who are calling yourselves allies, friends, but you're really foes. Dear white people who are out here rioting and looting, and the Black Lives Matter movement is being blamed for it. Dear Antifa, please stop. We're good. We don't need your help anymore. We're okay. Dear people who are bringing pallets of bricks to protests where ain't no construction going on, and you want us to grab the bricks and break the windows when it's really you. So this is why I say friend or foe, because they're protesting the death of another unarmed African-American male killed by the hands of law enforcement officials, right? Right. So we get it. If you're going to come out and protest like Triple OG, I gotta say your name. Come out and protest like Jessica McDonald did, her and her friends did, in the city of Houston downtown for the Black Lives Matter rally in Houston, right? Do peaceful protesting like that. We don't need you looting stores. We don't need you vandalizing things. And we also don't need you going on camera or being videotaped showing you getting beat and you blaming black people when you got beat by a mob of white people. There's no possible way you're on national television saying that two black men beat you through the window of your car when they have video of you standing outside with a bow and arrow over an African-American male, and then all of a sudden a mob of white people come and beat your butt. Them the friends, you the foe. So I say that to say this. First of all, I've been to Salt Lake City. I think in the state of Utah, black people only make up like 1%, right? But 10% of the prison system. We'll talk about that later. So here's my thing, right? Stop saying this is how y'all are. Stop saying this is what y'all are. Stop saying this is what black people are doing. Stop saying black people are doing this when there's video evidence of white people coming out these stores with bags full of stuff. When there's video evidence of white people busting up the windows, breaking up everything. There's video evidence of white people beating white people. When there's an arrest made today for the burning down of a historic city hall, courthouse, or whatever the case you may call it in Tennessee, the dude was white. Now listen, hold on. I understand, because you look like you got a lot of black friends. So you probably was tired of seeing your friends being brought in and drugged into that courthouse and everything happened to them. So all I'm saying is this. Be a friend. Don't be a foe. Because we don't know who to trust in a world that's so cold. We're about to take a break. When we come back, I'm gonna let the residential millennials talk, because I want to talk about Black Wall Street. It's June to the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM 101.7 FM. We'll be back.
Been feeling a little edgy lately? Listen to Edge Radio. That'll push you over the top. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM. Are you ready to be pushed over the edge? Edge Radio, coming soon to 1540 AM and 101.7 FM Houston, Pasadena, Clear Lake, Galveston.
This is Dr. Raul Rodriguez.
And this is your
One sec. Ready in 5, 4.
Hey, welcome back to the Morning Edge. I'm your host, Big Sarge, along with the super producer, Miss Nessa. I got Young Cody and I got Jessica McDonald for our Millennial Mondays right here on Edge Radio Network. 281-587-1540 is the number to call in if you want to jump in here. Once again, it's 281-587-1540 is the number to call in. Hey, before I get to you all, have y'all seen this? Lou Dobbs, right? Lou Dobbs, who is a anchor on Fox News, says he blames black churches, black teachers, and leaders for Minneapolis protests. Dobbs says, I don't know where the black churches are. I don't know where the black teachers are, black teachers and leaders. Lou, listen, Governor Greg Abbott, friend of the show, can you tell your friend Lou Dobbs that shouldn't it be like church leaders? Shouldn't it be teachers? Shouldn't it be community leaders? Because it ain't just black people out here doing that. We just talked about this, Lou. We just talked about that. It just ain't black people. So shouldn't they be doing that? Side note, Shelley Rosa Luther Parks, where you at? Right? Shelley Rosa Luther Parks. I thought you were the freedom fighter for Texas, for everything that's wrong going on. George Floyd is a native Texan. You didn't say nothing. I haven't seen you say nothing about everything that's going on, but you did thank the police officers from Richardson, Texas for protecting your salon, your $500,000 GoFundMe salon, your Give Ted Cruz a Haircut salon, your Singing with Ted Nugent salon. Hey, I'm going to jail and ripping this up. What about, you don't care nothing about the rest of Texas. You just care about your interests, right? Hey, shout out to friend of the show, Shelley Rosa Luther Parks. All right. Y'all know anything about Black Wall Street?
Yes.
Yeah.
On yesterday was the 99th anniversary of the destruction and destroying of Black Wall Street. And for those of y'all who don't know, Black Wall Street was a town. It was actually called Greenwood. It was Greenwood, Oklahoma, named after Greenwood, Mississippi, because one man came and bought 40 acres of land in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and turned it into what they call Black Wall Street. And they called it Black Wall Street because of the way that it was built up. African Americans didn't have to go out for nothing. They had everything that they needed within that community.
Wait. You talk about the 40 acres and the mule we was promised?
Young Cody, stop it, because you're going to get me riled up, and I'm not trying to get riled up right now. You're going to get me riled up, Young Cody. Well, I'm still waiting on the 40. Have you ever looked up what 40 acres would be right now?
Man, I have my own water park.
So, yesterday was that black people didn't have to go out nothing. They had everything they needed within that community. They said that $1 passed through 19 hands in that community before it went outside of the community. America didn't like it. So I guess they didn't like it because these African Americans were striving, these black people were striving on their own. They didn't like the fact that they had these big fancy cars and they dressed nice and they ain't need them for nothing. So what did they do? Oh, yeah, this black man did this to this white woman in the elevator. So let's just go ahead and burn it down. And they dropped a bomb on them, right? And I thought about that on yesterday when I was thinking about the 99th anniversary of it. When I said, it's crazy and it's weird because, the president came out and said that he's now labeling Antifa as a terrorist organization. And I said, that's really weird because the people of Black Wall Street, of Greenwood, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the Greenwood community, you know why they dropped the bomb on them? They labeled them terrorists. So they killed them. Here's my question as young millennials coming behind our generation. Do y'all think that there could ever be another Black Wall Street?
Probably not. Probably not. I don't think so because now everything is I don't want to say dominated, but it's more web based. You would have to be very internal with how you do things. Like it would have to be like an offshore island where where you have literally everything that you need in that city or whatever it is. Because now you like, oh, I need this. Oh, let me just go to Amazon. Now I need this. Let's just go to Walmart. Oh, I need this. Let's just go to Target. Oh, I need this. Let's go to whatever. So in order for that to happen, somebody would have to we have to turn Tyler Perry Studios into a Black Wall.
Shout out to Tyler Perry. That thing is beautiful. What you think, OG?
I'm kind of agreeing with Cody, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's just like, it's something that you would want to see. You would want to see people prospering, people actually living their American dream. But the problem is the American dream is a myth.
Right.
And everything is so globalized now that even different countries are creating, they want to follow that globalization that the American dream provides, right? But I don't think we can have enough. We're so infrastructure-wise, we're so used
dependent too on a lot of people, right?
Exactly, just different pay rates, different things like that. It's completely designed to keep people, especially Black people, down.
Yeah. All right, so look, we better get up out of here. I got to do the Article 15. Funny how time flies when you're having fun, right? Yes. Jessica, tell them where they can find you on social media.
Okay, so my Twitter is @KittyCatGamer. It's really embarrassing. But whoever has my normal nickname will give up the account. So, that's how
I thank you for coming in, Jessica. I really appreciate that. OG, triple OG, OG. Young Cody, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter @Cody. Is it Cody _Felix? Yeah, Cody _Felix on Twitter. I don't get on that much, to be honest with you. I get on the IG, Cody Felix on Instagram.
Gotcha. You can find me at Big Sarge Sports with a Z on Twitter, Big Sarge Sports with a Z on IG, Brian Bearfield on Facebook. You can go to Edge Radio Network on the Facebook page and find us. And just like that, okay. We got to get ready to get up out of here. The Article 15, right? Oh, yes.
Can I plug something real quick?
You surely can.
Okay, so just to let y'all know, Tuesday, Black Lives Matter is having another march to City Hall. If y'all want to join, it's going to be at 3 p.m. Starts at Discovery Green. They go to City Hall. It's pretty cool. Come out there, enjoy everybody. Also, this Friday, if y'all follow me on Twitter, and I'm going to get with Brian to kind of help put flyers out and everything. But we're having a charity live stream, twitch.tv/. twitch.tv/Choopie. It's going to be CHOOPIE. And that's going to be where you can find us. We're having a 24-hour live stream from 2 p.m. Friday our time to 2 p.m. Saturday. And just because of all of that's going on, we have different people coming in gaming. We have different people coming in making their own music. We have different people coming in doing art. We're just trying to raise money for Minnesota Freedom Fund and then North Star Health and a couple others. You can find it on the flyer. Just putting that out there. FYI, please tune in because we're just trying to raise money, doing what we can with what we have, and we have a community that we're trying to show, gain support from, and so hopefully.
Gotcha. Thank you very much for plugging that. Look, we're about to get up out of here. Let me do this really, really quick. I think I got maybe a minute, less than a minute. Article 15 today. All my Vietnam veterans, welcome home. Germany, good night. All my active duty military personnel that's downrange, good night. Article 15 goes to President Trump. And I just want to say this. Hey, President Trump, you said in January 12th of 2018, why are we having all these people come from these S-hole countries? Why are they coming here? Why are people coming from Haiti, El Salvador, Africa? You call those countries S-hole countries, right? You're in a bunker right now. You're hiding from the citizens who are uprising right in front of the White House. You're in a bunker, hiding. These people ain't from El Salvador. These people ain't from Haiti. These people ain't from Africa. These people ain't from the S-hole countries that you're talking about, or that you talked about back in 2018. They from the country that you run. They're from your country. The president, you're the president of the United States. These people that are standing outside the White House protesting, trying to get to you, is from your country. Who got the S-hole country now? You tune into the Morning Edge right here on 1540 AM, 101.7 FM. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. I'm out.
Your hands reach out and touch me. Mornings were more than gold, and we could feel one another living. Just walk away. We walked with the dream to hold, and we could take what the